For 20 years, you've trusted us to reinvent the standard in sports nutrition products. We don't plan on stopping, just like you.
I love communicating with social media. I love telling them my views and trying to teach and share. You know, I've done a lot of the things that the guys and girls are doing out there in fitness and in life. And I have a lot of life experience and I like to share. And I'm just channeling what I learned from others, channeling what I learned from books and the internet, and just trying to share my journey with people, you know?
Pretty steady improvement. There's been a couple areas that have been not improving as much as I would like, but...
Okay, and also keep in mind, you know, you're not a competitive bodybuilder, you have a regular social life and work life. You know, I want you to find the nice balance. You don't have to be OCD, crazy bodybuilder, but...
One of the beautiful things about social media is that the people that are in the limelight, in the spotlight, the people we look up to, we're able to be in their lives. You know, back in Arnold's day, or any celebrities or actors or Frank Sinatra, people just saw them at their shows, at their concerts, at their photo shoots. They didn't see their lives. They didn't see them year round. And people get to see me year round. They get to see my daily routines on social media. So it's very interesting. Because of that, people want to know more about my personal life, what I do for work, what I do for downtime, you know, my relationships. I get a lot of questions like that. And then the basic stuff about dieting and training, which, to be honest with you, I put a lot of information out there. I put a lot of videos on diet and training on my YouTube, but they can get that from anyone. You go on Google and you can get every training protocol and every diet known to man. I want people to get something different from me. I want them to understand the mentality and the mindset needed to be a champion, needed to be the best that they can be in any walk of life. Again, I keep on saying this because it's not only fitness. Everything that I learned, everything that Arnold learned as a bodybuilder, we've both applied in our relationships and business. He became so successful as a movie star because of the discipline and consistency he learned as a bodybuilder. So these tools can cross over to other aspects of people's lives. So I'd like to share that, you know. I don't care what diet you do. I don't care what kind of training you do. What I care about is how you do it. How focused you are, how intense, how consistent, and how much you believe in your protocols and in yourself.
You just gotta keep going through the motions. Some days are a lot harder than others, but when I'm suffering and I'm really exhausted, it's tough, but it's good, because I know I'm progressing. To get very low in body fat is not an easy thing. To get lean, to be in shape, no problem. You can do that lifestyle dieting, 6%, 7% body fat. But to be below 5%, 4%, you're going to struggle. It's gonna be mentally tough. You're gonna be weak. You get forgetful. You know, you get dizzy at times, low on energy. But it's part of it. Those are all signs that you're doing something right. And that's why bodybuilding is so difficult, and that's why there are very few bodybuilders in the world compared to other athletes, other pro athletes. It's no easy task.
Every competition, for me at least, is always different because my body changes and evolves, and so many factors like stress, the weather, everything comes into play. So my protocols are always different. You don't just do XYZ because it's Tuesday, you know? My body changes hour to hour, literally hour to hour, the last few days, the last week. So I don't look at myself too much. Now you're just trying to dial in, getting dry and filling out, which is an absolute science. Juggling that with making weight is even harder. So I try to stay very focused. I try to keep my head very clear. I don't overthink, you know. It's a meditative state, really. You really, really need to stay very, very focused and keep the goal in the mind's eye. At this point in time, I should be very confident and content with my package because I worked 3-4 months to get there. It's not about being delusional or arrogant or cocky, but you have to go in, you know, with the faith that you're going to win. And as long as you put in the work. I mean, if you didn't put in the work and you just don't have what it takes and you're telling yourself you're going to win, well, that's not going to do much. But you got to go forward in a confident manner with faith that you'll succeed. And the people will see that, the judges will see that, that'll come through in your body language and in your eyes. And it'll make you 5 or 10% better or 5 or 10% less. Words of encouragement or guidance that I give guys when they're doing their first shows is keep to yourself backstage. It's very easy to get psyched out. It's very easy to get lost in everyone else's energy. Everyone's very nervous and running around. One thing I remember my first show, guys in my division were pumping up like an hour and a half before and they were giving me anxiety. I was like, are we going on stage? And they're just nervous energy. So if you let that affect you, it'll ruin you. It's difficult for the average person to look at bodybuilders and 1, relate, or 2, understand what goes in to look like that. It's just like, what is that? You know what I mean? But the thing about bodybuilding, regardless if it's mainstream or not, everyone has advanced and learned from bodybuilders. All the way from the 50s. Doctors, professional athletes, all the diets that regular people do, a lot of the supplements and protocols that regular people do, celebrities, and that just everybody has trickled down from bodybuilding. We've been the guinea pigs for the past, 50, 60 years trying all the protocols. So regardless if they can relate or not, that has come from us. I take my losses and I use that as fuel to work harder. And I do the same thing with my victories. My first show I ever won overall, first show I ever did Atlantic States, I won the whole show overall. I was back here 6 in the morning, training and doing cardio like an animal. I used that adrenaline, that excitement, and it fueled me. Second show, I lost. I did the same thing. I was back here the next day, and I used that loss as fuel. I don't know if I'd be able to do this 15 years ago. I was very shy growing up. I guess I'm a little older now, and I care less about what people think of me, which is kind of freeing. But it's a great feeling. It gives me goosebumps just thinking about it. I think about being on stage when I'm in my prep all day long, and it drives me to work harder. It's a great feeling knowing that there's people out there that love and respect me, and that I work so hard, and they're a big part of that. The comments I get and the feedback I get, it drives me to be better. These people are behind you, they got your back. They want to see you do well and be the best. It's a really, really good feeling.